All right, here we go. We are back. This is Akeem Rahim, and I'm here with the awesomely talented, locally famous but world-renowned muralist and graffiti artist, Radio. What is up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How's it going?
It's good to have you with us.
For sure. Thanks for having me out.
Okay, so this is the Why Art channel, and the pressing question we ask all artists, right? Because there's so many like forms of expression, right? There's music, dance, whatever. But visual artists, we want to know why art, why this medium for you.
So for me, originally art, I looked at it as a way for me to just express myself when I was young.
Yeah.
It was a way for me to use my free time doing something that I felt passionate about.
Yeah.
And I guess it felt self-rewarding.
Yeah.
Now, as I got older, it became more of a therapeutic type thing for me now.
Okay.
Now, when I do art or when I go out to do a painting, it's more just to kind of keep my mind grounded, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit that happens in life, that has nothing to do with art, whether it be work or just life in general, you know what I mean? So It's really easy to get caught up in a lot of negativity and nonsense that's happening in your life.
Yeah.
So for me, I know for some people, they might go to church on Sundays, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, art is my church,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So that's how I turn to something that's positive and that's uplifting for myself,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That allows me to keep a positive attitude and stay focused on positive goals, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's a lot of things out here that are distracting, a lot of negativity things, and I feel like for me, art gives me, besides the therapy, it gives me an avenue to channel my emotion. You know what I'm saying? In a positive light, you know what I'm saying? Because I could be out here rioting, I could be out here doing all kinds of crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to talk bad about people that riot or protest, nothing against protesters. But for me, my way to be, I guess, not so much political, but my way to just basically to get out my feelings is through art. And I like how much art is able to speak to all nationalities and cultures.
Yeah.
There's different ways to present your art that might touch someone all the way on the other side of the world, or someone from a completely different background from you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to deal, like, with art, you don't have to worry about like races, colors, creed, any of that type of stuff. It's very open and free, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like that about it.
Yeah. You know what? I actually saw a news story at the height of the pandemic that was advising people like to take care of their mental health, and they were saying you should get a tactile hobby, something like knitting, sewing, something you do with your hands.
Yeah.
Because that helps to calm your mind, and it helps to manage your mental health in a way that is more beneficial than you would think, right?
Yeah. It's funny you say that too about the pandemic, to mention that, because I noticed that also during the pandemic, when they were boarding up a lot of stores and stuff, you saw a lot of people coming out and doing art. People who might not have felt comfortable doing art, who might not have done art before, especially in that large of a public display or whatever, you started seeing a lot more people coming out and doing that. And I think that definitely opened the eyes for society to recognize art, especially on like on an outside, bring it to the public type of view type of thing. Most people, I guess, consider art to be something you just do on like a canvas or something, and you present it in a gallery or something, or you're trying to do it for profit or something like that. During the pandemic, with all of the murals that were going up and a lot of these businesses that were boarded up and allowing people to have free range with art, it really opened the door for that a lot too. So I think the stigma with that has definitely gone away.
Street art kind of got a little more legitimized.
Absolutely, because people were seeing not just the art for what it was, but seeing the people for actually, wait, these are people. These are like people who are in our community. They're not out there being, thugs or gang members or whatever. The stigmas that come with street art sometimes. They were able to see that that's not the case.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take it back to the beginning. What inspired you, or what inspires you to create?
So I actually find inspiration from a lot of different things. Originally, as I said, when I was young, I mean, I think I started doing art when I was maybe 9 or 10.
Okay.
What I liked about art when I was really, really young is I liked the tangibility of it. You know, I liked that it was something that I didn't just like paint or draw, like I could touch it.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was young, I used to do a lot of sculptures. I did a lot of stuff with, you know, chalk pastels, things like that, because I liked being able to actually touch the medium.
Yeah.
And, you know, I actually felt like I was creating it. And, you know, I found inspiration when I was young from nature. Now, as I got older, and, you know, I'm a little bit older now, and I'm a little bit more cultured, I find a lot of inspiration from pop culture in general. Not necessarily, I guess, pop in what some people would be considered pop, but, you know, I like a lot of the things from the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, some of the early 90s stuff. There's just a lot of things that I find inspiration with.
Yeah.
I'm also really in tune with seasons. That's another thing. Like I read whatever as the seasons as they change.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of my paintings will be influenced by whatever the season is at the time.
Okay.
So, you know, that's another thing that I find inspiration in. You know, being a fall kid, someone who's born in the fall, I really lean towards earth tones and things that are like that. So
that makes sense.
yeah, if you notice, if anyone who follows my work, they'll notice there's always a heavy dose of earth type tones in it.
Okay.
Because I just really like earth tones.
That makes sense.
Speak to me.
Okay, and what would you tell a young up and coming artist, somebody who is trying to get into, you know, painting or having some kind of visual presence? What would you tell a younger artist?
I would say first and foremost, find the passion in it.
Yeah.
You know, and don't lose the passion. Also, and I mean, I have told this to young artists before, remember that you are young.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get all your recognition overnight.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of young artists, what I'll see them do is they'll take extreme measures or do extreme moves to try to get recognition when you don't need to do that. You know, I would tell them, hey, stay passionate in what you do. Stay true to who you are as an artist, and always push that limit. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing I can say about myself. Yeah, I've been invited to do commission paintings, different things like that. But one thing I always make sure is I always keep it true to who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to change up my style or something, you know, like something that is true to who I am, what I'm passionate about, and what my style of art is. I make sure that that shows no matter what. Whatever the subject matter be. So that's what I would tell an artist. Make sure you're passionate about it. Develop a style that you like. And push it all the way. You know, I'm not saying you can't cross borders and do collaborations, because I do stuff like that too. But again, make sure that your style speaks to you.
You
it
got
says
like a
you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's key. You know,
that's
like
what's up. And you hear that, young folks. You heard it from the man himself. All right. So tell us before we go. Tell the folks where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram under Mr. They Call Me Radio. It's all one word. If you want to actually go out and see my art, I have art in different places around the city. Here in San Jose, I've got art in San Francisco, Oakland as well. You know, I just really try to get out there. I am currently trying to get into more galleries. See, the thing with me is I'm so used to being outside doing art. It's tough for me to sit down inside for a few hours and work on a painting. So I'm trying to like calm my mind enough to be able to do that so that I can present art to galleries and have, you know, wall, you know, paintings that I can hang on the wall. And I've been doing that a lot more this last year, actually. I've done probably about a dozen paintings that I have at home, which is like a lot for me. You know, so like
you get into the groove.
Yeah, I'm getting into it. So
that's what's up, man.
But yeah, that's where you can find me at. Again, for any artists coming up out there, again, don't feel. This is another thing I've been told from other artists that are like trying to break through. Don't feel held back by your nationality or your financial status. Okay, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be great looking. You don't even have to really have connections, really. You just gotta be out there, be passionate about what you do. Like I said, put in the effort, put in the work. You know what I mean? We live in a society now where it's a little bit easier to get recognized because you have social media, you have platforms like this to where you can reach out, you know. I'm older now, you know, when I was young, we didn't have the internet. So to be able to get recognized and seen, you had to be out there doing art and people had to be out there going out there and seeing your art. So, you know, when I was younger, it was a little bit more difficult to transition over from the street to galleries or be able to find that balance. You know what I mean? But now, because of social media, because of a lot of advertising campaigns, things like that, you know, they use a lot of, you can get seen now, and it's more open for that. So
I heard that.
Like I said, don't be discouraged. You know, don't be discouraged. I'm telling you.
Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dream.
Especially if you're young, it's easy to get discouraged when you're young. You're just like, oh, I'm never gonna make it. Nobody's ever gonna see this stuff. Like, you don't get in your own head about it. Just, like I said, stay passionate about it.
That's true, man.
And push it to the fullest, bro. Like, that's the best advice I can give. Anyway.
Radio. Thank you again, man.
That's right, man. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate your time.
I appreciate your time, too, man.
This is Why Art. And we will be back again soon. Mr. E, we're coming for you, man.
Oh, yeah, that's the homie, man.
Yeah, we coming for you, Mr.
for
E.
sure.
You think we playing around?